guys? This is Odogu with a Team Aonn Presents Cheeky Geeky Podcast. We have Nader's Girl with us.
Hello.
And I know it has been a minute. It has been a crazy year, but we are here with a Halloween special. We're going to be talking about Halloween slash spooky type games. Past and also currenter ones. I'm going to be honest, not really well versed in them, but I have played a number of them. Um, I know more of them versus ones that I've played. Uh, Nate, I believe that you have the same background. Is that correct?
Very limited. Mostly watching videos of the really spooky ones, but I don't really play them much.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna touch on the older games first, and then get into ones that we've actually played. Now, personally, I have played a number of games in the past for Halloween. Um, a lot of them have been retro games. Some of them weird, some of them not so weird. As a general example, I played, and I know this is not spooky, so don't judge me, Nate, but I played the Count's Countdown because it has Dracula in it. Tried to do a speed run and it completely glitched out on me. Um, I think during that same time I did, it was Dr. Franken, which was fun, but the controls were complete trash. Um, Ghost and Goblins. Ghost and Goblins was actually the first type spooky game I ever played. It was one of the few video games that my parents ever rented for me because video game rentals were expensive. So it was a very extremely rare treat for me, and that is not something that a 5-year-old should be playing just because of the difficulty level.
Yep, I've not heard of that one, so I mean,
Really?
the only thing I can think of is like I did Dead to Rights, but that one, which is an older game, but it had some scary parts in it, and even Uncharted has some scary parts in it where you fight monsters.
Yeah, the Dead to Rights I heard was a really good game. No clue what the plot was. What was the plot on that one?
It's been so long since I've played that. I don't know if I could even tell you what the plot was. I know it was like a bounty hunter type guy, and you have a dog, and the dog will actually go after people, and you can play as the dog, but I can't remember the plot of the game.
That's okay. It's like with the. I am trying to think of the games I've actually played. Um, One of them was the Castlevania series. That one is really big. I've played some I want to play. There was these two games in the Castlevania series. I believe they had. I'm gonna look up the name, but have you played any Castlevania?
I know of it, but I have not played it.
Okay. The ones that I wanted to get a hold of, but unfortunately I couldn't when I was doing it, were the ones that had Patrick Stewart. It was the Lord of Shadows and the Lord of Shadows 2. I believe that was for the PS3. Um, and I just could not find them, and I did not order them on eBay. um, but they did look interesting. Um, the one big one that I never play, like I played 4 very shortly just because it was something to play where I was at. But the one game series, and it always gave me the creeps, especially when I was like a little kid, was the Resident Evil games. Like they would have advertisements and pictures in video game magazines, and it was just so creepy to me as like a 10-year old and stuff.
All of those are very creepy. I have a friend that does streams on a regular basis, and I've watched her play those. It's it's nightmare fuel.
It is, and I mean, it's just gotten worse. Like Mortal Kombat, you think like, oh, the first one, oh, it's so gory when it first came out, and then you see what it is now, and it's like that is tame. And the Resident Evil went with that as well, and I think that and Castlevania are the two biggest like horror type things in the media that wide people know about, not just gamers. Just because of the whole. I know there's been Resident Evil movies. I think there was a Castlevania cartoon back in the day. Um, or maybe it was an anime or something. I don't fully recall, but I know they had some kind of non video game media in one capacity or another.
I remember Castlevania having something. I know Resident Evil has movies. They've
Oh
done a
yeah.
ton of those.
Oh yeah, like they had I actually was interested in watching them, but due to the content, I'm like, I would rather not have the nightmare fuel. Um, and the two different franchises, I think they represent well the whole horror aspect that we see in media, where you have the old school, Dracula, Frankenstein type horror movies that objectively now isn't scary or anything, but it's still horror. And then you have that stuff with Resident Evil that compares to like current horror stuff that, yes, is intended to be scary versus like gothically scary, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because there's like Van Helsing scary, and then there's like Saw or Ghost.
Exactly. Exactly, and it's always been a point of irritation where it's like, oh well, this stuff isn't horror because it isn't scary, and I mean some games, just the quietness of them. Um, my one friend, I forget the names of these games, but they're rare and expensive at this point. But the games, it's very very quiet, and you're moving around, and every so often there are these creepy sounds. Um, and you get really lost in it, and when something happens, it's like you have a heart attack when it does, even though you know it's eventually coming.
Uncharted was like that. Like the first two Uncharted films, at one point you're going against something like a Yeti or flying something or another that, and it's dark and it's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, some of the games where you're just exploring and stuff like that, I haven't played Uncharted. I know it's a very good game. It's just I haven't really had time to play all the games I've wanted to. Um, One that I streamed was, it was part of the Man of Median um, series, the Dark Picture series, and it was where this one guy was telling different like tales, and you were exploring it. Unfortunately, I did not. I got past one story, and I was in a different one, and it almost was like watching a movie but being a part of it. It's a really good semi-current series for anybody that wants to pick up something and is into like the thriller semi-horror type stuff.
I mean, it's not a bad franchise for sure. I mean, I enjoy it to an extent, so it's just as long as it's not too out there, I'll be okay with it.
Now, I got a question for you. I don't remember if you play this game series, but what are your thoughts on as far as Fallout and it being considered part of the horror genre?
I love Fallout. I have Fallout 4, even though I've not progressed very far in the game. I've never beaten it, even though I own it. I have it for PS4 or 3. I can't think right now. Um, I don't really consider it horror, though. I mean, I know there's horror type things in the game, but I wouldn't consider it horror. More survival than anything.
Okay. Because that's something that Nova plays a lot, modded, different things like that. And I've watched him play it, and I've already told him it's not something I could play. Because I gotta admit, I am a lightweight when it comes to some things. And the mutants are just so creepy, and like as they come after you.
So are ghouls, and I hate them.
Yes. And I hate to say it, but that's like the whole reason I won't play the game. The only time I've played it was with 76, and it's where they had the alien invasion event. Um, and that's pretty much the only time I've played it, just because it's like, it's aliens. For some reason, it's fine if aliens are coming to kill you, but the moment it's like zombies and crap, I'm out.
Me too. I hate them. I will refuse to go to an area that has a bunch of ghouls. Everything. That's what stops me from playing the game sometimes.
Oh yeah, and I mean media too. There are some things that like I will not watch even though I really want to. Just because I know I will have nightmares. Um, yet, I, I will watch and have watched repeatedly the 1980s Robert Englund Phantom of the Opera, even though he is skinning people and sewing the flesh onto his skin. Go figure that out. It, you know, apparently, as long as it's Phantom of the Opera with me, it's okay.
That's like me with, which it's not video games, but it's like me with the movie Fresh because it's Sebastian, or Van Helsing because it's Hugh Jackman.
I mean, Van Helsing was not like a gory movie, though. I mean, the scariest thing about it
No,
was the
it's not.
CGI, which, God, that was some bad CGI.
It was early in the game.
This is true. They did make a Van Helsing video game. I think I have it, but I've never played it, and I just haven't. Oh, I know that sounds bad. But I mean, a lot of the some of the movie games or movie tie-in games are actually good. I mean, a lot of them are really bad. One that I played, and this has to be some of the best, and why I do support movie games, even though most of them are complete and utter horse crap, is The Nightmare Before Christmas. It had two games, and both of them expanded the world. One was, and this one I live streamed. It was for the GBA. It was...
I didn't even know they had a game for them.
Oh my god, you gotta check them out. Nightmare Before Christmas, The Pumpkin King. That gives a backstory to Oogie Boogie, and how he came into into the Nightmare Before Christmas part. But the better one, this one I got but never live streamed, was Nightmare Before Christmas Oogie's Revenge for the PlayStation 2. And it
That
tells.
one I remember.
Yes, and it tells you, like, it's almost like a Nightmare Before Christmas Part 2. It has really good music. Um, Honestly, it's something, and even if you're just looking up the cutscenes on YouTube, it's something I'd highly recommend. So, I mean, if you want the personal recommendation of stuff to watch on YouTube, if you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, there you go.
I will definitely have to check it out, either me or Nathan, because he loves it too.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, I haven't seen all the cutscenes, but there is a song in that I absolutely love. Now, as far as like other games that I can think of, and mind you, these are the games that I know have a cult following. Um, Stuff like Silent Hill, Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse, I've actually wanted to play. Um, it's basically like a Jason type dude. That's like a beat 'em up.
That I could probably get behind, honestly.
It is really good. I think a newer version came out on Steam, but I could be wrong. Um, as far as like the creepiest game I've ever played, and don't judge me on this, okay? Because one, I'm gonna expose my age, and two, yeah, kind of don't want to admit it, but back in the day, this site's still around, I believe, but there. Have you ever heard of Newgrounds?
Yes.
Okay, so there were people that would post games there, and some would just be demos for games that you could pick up. And one of them was a demo for a very now popular game called The Binding of Isaac. Oh my god, have you heard of The Binding of Isaac?
I have not.
Okay, so it's spoilers, but the first one, this kid of this very religious lady, um and this is where it gets creepy. I don't know the whole backstory and stuff and lore, but this is as I'm speaking about the demo right now. So this is just from the demo, where something happens and he finds a hatch in his room and goes to this basement type area, and this is my narrative, okay? I might be wrong, I might be right, but there are these dead baby looking things all trying to kill Isaac, like deformed type, like things. And I'm like, what, did she do self-abortions and then put them in this cellar type thing, and now they're trying to kill her current child? Like, I don't even know.
That sounds horrible.
Just, yeah, it is. I mean, it's a good game, it's a fun game, but just how deformed and stuff these things are, and that creepy mental backstory, I mean, I just can't. um, I think that she hears God, and God tells her to sacrifice her son. Now that I'm thinking more about it, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, it was a very, very creepy ass demo. It has blown up in popularity, which honestly it's deserving of.
Not too bad. I mean, the only thing that it wasn't really scary. It's more because it was real life and stuff like that. Was Heavy Rain, which is a cult classic now. You can find it on PlayStation if you have PlayStation Premium. You can play it on there without buying it. You can just download it, but it's so freaking good. I mean, there's one point where you gotta decide whether you, oh, I can't remember. It was either cut off one of your fingers with a knife or do something else, and I can't remember what it is. It's like it gives you ultimatums and you have to make choices.
Okay. Yeah, I mean a lot of the horror games, and this is from a collector's standpoint, have they are so expensive. It might be because it's like a whole niche type thing, but like as a general example, before video game collecting became a joke due to the prices, you could get a bulk of games, and I got this bulk Sega Saturn lot, and I think it was like for maybe $150. But there were a ton of games all in boxes, like complete in box. And one of them was Enemy Zero, and I think I sold it for like $150 or something like that. And there are a lot of games like that.
Yeah, if they're considered collectibles, they'll pay quite a bit of money for them.
Yeah, especially if there was ones that either didn't have a wide release or weren't popular enough and different things like that.
Yep, and there's a few of them out there that have like just a cult following and they weren't like branded or they didn't have a huge following or didn't get do well for box office in video game world anyway. There's all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, or the first one didn't do good, but they released another one and then or it just got popular and by then it's like, oh well, nobody bought it. Kind of like the Mother series here, the Earthbound game. A lot of people didn't buy that one because it was like it came with the instruction manual, so I think it was like $100, $150 at the time. Um, but it's a really good video game. Very weird. Gets really graphic at the end. Have you ever played Earthbound, or do you know about Earthbound?
I have not.
Okay, well, I'm going to piss off everybody, and because I have not played the game, I did see like I'm gonna be honest, I saw the Angry Video Game Nerds review of it, which in my defense, it did make me want to check out the game. So I mean, it doesn't matter how you get into something, if it's good, but towards the end it almost looks like he's fighting a fetus. Like, with the background, kind of looks like a fetus.
Sounds weird.
Oh, the game is weird. The game is very, very weird. It is very popular. It's gotten a cult following. I think the game is like just the cartridge is like $200+ or something now. I could be wrong, but yeah.
I might have to check that one out.
It is very fun. It is very long, and you probably will need a guide for it. But I did send you a picture of the Binding of Isaac, and now I'm gonna send you a picture of the background of the final boss, which is like this, like non-constructive, like obscure type, like theoretical. I can't think of the word. It's basically a
Where did you send
background.
it?
On Facebook. Oh, apparently I never sent it. So that explains a lot.
That explains a lot.
So there you go. I sent you the fetus looking thing. So tell me that doesn't look like a fetus.
It looks like something.
I know, right? And then this is the binding of Isaac. And just the weird freaking no eyeball looking pictures. So there you go. Tell me that isn't creepy.
It's weird. It's like a cute creepy.
I know, right? Oh.
The teeth are kind of unnerving.
The whole thing is a little bit unnerving. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is the NES and Atari type horror games. Mind you, most of them are based on movies because man, the NES had a lot of horrible movie games. The main one that I played was Friday the 13th, and it was creepy. It was. I don't want to call it bad, because I mean, I'd play worse, but it was one of those that was very, very infuriating. And you would get a jump scare when Jason showed up. Jason would show up out of frickin' nowhere. And so it was one of the ones that was more tied to the actual movie plot versus the Nightmare on Elm Street one where you're just punching bats and crap like that and spiders.
I have seen. I have seen a video of Friday the 13th. We have a friend that plays it. He used to stream it. That one, it got pretty cool looking. Even though I would never play it. It's weird. I can watch it be played, but if I were to play it, forget it.
Now, you're talking about the one on the NES or like a re-release type game?
It was newer, Friday the 13th game.
Oh, yes, that one. That one, yes. I remember that one. That one I could not play. I was interested in it, but due to how creeped out I was by the NES version, um, but I heard that one was really good. Um,
What video I watched was really, really good, but I would never be able to play it personally.
yeah, yeah. I would say I'm honestly surprised they haven't made more horror games based on like franchises, but it seems like that those have not gotten the love in video game media that they should versus all this other random crap that we see being released.
Oh, there's so much random horror things that pop up out of the woodwork. I mean, it's not a video game, but the newest one that I saw was a movie, and it's just called Thanksgiving, where there's a killer pilgrim in this little small town that goes and kills people.
Yeah, I mean honestly, they're just running out of ideas. It's like
Exactly. Yeah.
well,
It's like
let's
Pokemon. They're running out of different ideas.
yeah, I mean. But the new Pokemon has sandwiches. You don't understand. Sandwiches. Um. No, but the one game that I'm surprised they haven't just kept making games for is the Saw franchise, because the Saw franchise is very popular. It has had video games, but it hasn't had one recently.
I know, I heard a rumor that they were doing more movies, but I don't know for certain. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a new one, Saw X. Yeah, Saw X actually is out right now. Um, don't know when it got released, but apparently that is out in theaters right now. Do what you will about that.
Oh, I wouldn't go see it. Nathan was a Saw fan. I'm not.
Well, you can let him know there's a new one that you won't be going to.
So he can come home and be afraid of the dark.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, so if you were to give your personal recommendation on any type scary horror whatever game, what would it be?
Heavy Rain is my first thought. Although it's not really considered horror. I don't know if it's under thriller or not. I'd have to actually look at it. I know it's rated mature, but it's fantastic. It's one of the first ones that your choices count. So if whatever choice you make, you're stuck with in the game, and it can alter the ending. It's when they first started doing those.
Very nice. Um, yeah, apparently that is out on the PS4, PS3, and Steam.
Free. You can play it if you have the PS Premium, because it's in the classics. So you can play that at any time if you do that. Otherwise, if you buy it a disc, I think you have to have a PS3 to play it. Unless you get it backwards compatible 4.
Wait, there's a backwards compatible 4?
I can't remember. Either that or it was on. They might have released it on 4. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've played that game, and I can't play it around my child who's yelling, and I apologize.
No, you're good. They released it on the 4. They do have it on Steam on sale right now for $7.99.
I don't know if I could ever play that on computer. It's a little complex.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably something I wouldn't check out personally, but that's more because I'm a lightweight. But apparently, the Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, which was my recommendation, has shot up in price. Like, what the heck? I think I paid maybe $25 for it or something back in the day, and it is up to $65-ish for the American version. What the hell? This is why we can't have nice things.
I guess it's because it's Nightmare Before Christmas. That would be my only best guess.
That, and like I said, the video game market has gone to crap. I mean, as a general example, the Aqua Teen Hunger Force Zombie Ninja Pro-Am, which is a PS2 game for the Aqua Teen Hunger Force, it is not a great game. Personally, I enjoy it because I'm a fan of them, but it's not something that random people are going to want to pick up and enjoy. You really have to be a fan of the show. Because it is a very, very strange game. I mean, even sports.
I've watched it as whenever I shouldn't have been as a kid. Does that count?
It does. It does. They are actually coming out November with 5 new episodes, and I am excited. I am a okay. I know this isn't on topic, but Nova. One of the things that, you know how guys do different things to impress women, And one of the hooking points for him, because he does do voices, is he did the Meatwad voice. Like, he can do the Meatwad voice, and it
Gotta
just
love Meatwad.
I know, and it endeared him to me. He actually made me a birthday video when we were first dating, singing happy birthday and all the voices that he does that I enjoyed. It was so sweet. So yes, that's
It was really cute.
that's your tidbit for today. But yeah, I mean, lot of different video games out there for horror, much like there is in other media. For now, I think is a good stopping point. I'm gonna get with you as far as the end of year episode. I'm gonna release this on YouTube and then rip the audio to release it on the different podcasts. Although I think you can.
No problem.
I still need to post the Benedict Cumberbatch episode on Anchor because I very busy life. We'll leave it at that. But I will give you a poke. Thank you so much for meeting up with me. You want to do where we can check you out, Nader's Girl?
Well, I'm on Wattpad. I'm on AO3. You can find me on Instagram under Nader's Girl and MDC Artistry. I have an artist page now. Besides that, it's just Facebook.
Alrighty then, and you can check us anywhere you see Team Aonn. We're on Anchor and other places you can get your podcast. But for now, this is Otogu.
And this is Nader's Girl. And I did forget one. I'm also working on a book, so you can find Angel and Dawn on all social media as well.
Very nice. You didn't tell me this.
I forgot.
Bad. You're bad.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay. But as always, guys, enjoy your fandom. Bye, everybody.
Bye.